Hi everyone. Welcome to week 10 of our Fundamentals of College Writing class. Should be another pretty short video here, only a couple of things for me to go over. In task 10.1 this week, it's kind of a little, I don't know, you might call this a mini lecture about the connections between research and storytelling. So what does Writing Project 1, the narrative collage, have to do with Writing Project 3, a research paper? Aren't they two separate genres? They are. But thinking about the relationship between a story and a research paper can help us understand how research papers also tell stories. The subject of the story changes, however, from you to the subject you are researching. Let's think about a few elements of storytelling. There is a specific setting, a cast of characters, some kind of conflict leading to tension, and a resolution that concludes the story. Now, let's think about these elements as they relate to your research paper, and you'll see that the elements of a story are also the elements of a research paper. So, setting, where does your problem take place? Can you locate these spaces or locations that are most affected by it? Characters. The characters in a research paper are the key players, the influencers, policymakers, anyone who is invested in the argument and the conclusions that you're going to come to. So for instance, like you're going to be the narrator of your story, and then your other characters are probably going to be, other scholars and thinkers whose work you've cited, and people affected by the question that you are exploring. For the conflict, some reason for researching and exploring. This is what research centers on. It usually centers on a problem or a desire for greater understanding that sets the research in motion. And then tension. Multiple ways of solving or thinking about the issue often conflict, generating tension as you advocate for and set out to answer your research question. So just as a story has, tension between characters or, tension between, the protagonist and, some sort of, villain, research papers have a tension as well as you are, trying to find the truth or trying to find the best answer to some problem that you've identified, and deciding how to approach this issue that you've been diving deeper into. And then finally, a resolution, a sense of closure in which you use your thesis to offer next steps or to inspire some kind of action in the reader. A resolution does not mean that the research question is 100% definitively answered. Resolution simply means that your paper comes to a satisfying conclusion and leaves the reader with a greater understanding of the research question. And so the last part of this task here, I'd like you to watch this video, which is called The Story of Bottled Water. And what this video does, it's a little bit of like a presentation that kind of combines these elements of research and storytelling in an interesting way. So I think by watching this video, you'll be able to see how these different aspects of storytelling, so setting, characters, conflict, tension, and resolution, how those are applicable to the research process. Task 10.2 is your discussion board post for this week. Answer the following questions about your research paper referring to the previous task. So who are the main characters of your research paper? Who are the minor characters? What is the setting of your research paper? In other words, what are the locations, the spaces that are most impacted by the problem that you are researching? What is the central conflict, and where are the moments of tension? So what kind of tension is your conflict creating? And then finally, what are some possible resolutions? And so you'll answer these prompts, answer these questions. How do these things relate to your research paper? And you'll post that to the discussion board, which is due Thursday by 11:59. That is all for this week for fundamentals. Feel free to email me if you have any questions or concerns.